Kings and queens, welcome back to the second channel. I hope you guys are all having a fantastic day and you're doing well. We're finally back on the second channel. It took a very long time. As you know, these videos, or in case you don't know, these videos are very loose. They're just me talking. They're me kind of going off of my thoughts and bringing a video to you guys. We're going to be trying to post 3 videos every single week. Some might be gameplay, most will be discussion, and we'll see how they all go. I'll also be doing some shorts on this channel. I'll also be doing some live streams on the channel. So stay tuned. Quite a lot's going to be happening here. This is basically going to be, if I was going to make a video and I don't think it's main channel worthy, it will come over here so we can still have discussions, talk about things, and pretty much have more content here than we do on the main channel, because let's be honest, I'm not that good at uploading on the main channel consistently. But with this channel, I can feel free to toss anything, maybe even some other games. Today, I want to talk about things that I think Dead by Daylight can add into their game to make their 10th year anniversary the best of the best that we could ever see. I feel like there's a lot of things that they can hit for a game that's going into the 10th year where they need to make this a big splash and promise a lot of things that they're going to do and then execute on those things. This year has ultimately been a little bit rocky for Dead by Daylight, where they're now finally starting to put the pieces together. I feel with the recent licensings with Stranger Things returning and then the new PTB with the Trickster map, things are slowly starting to get better for DBD, especially on the PR side of things. So we have to essentially wait and see how things are going to go. With that being said, there's always room for improvement. So let's start with some of the things that I want to see in Dead by Daylight. Number 1 on the list is, I saw, this is a little bit more random, but I saw an article from Dextero that shows some of the most cheated games based on web search. Dead by Daylight was up there, which is insane. Now, we know that throughout the years, Dead by Daylight has not have the best relationship when it comes down to cheaters. There's something where every few months there's a spike in cheaters. They specifically target a lot of streamers as well, and this is something that happens often, very often, to the point where I would say I have heard about a lot more cheaters in Dead by Daylight than any other game, right next to some other games that are on this list, like Call of Duty or Apex or Rainbow Six. Those are games that I can recall that have had massive issues with cheaters on their platform. Now, I remember Dead by Daylight originally hired out a different company. They tried many things to work on their anti-cheat, and, you know, there still needs to be a lot of improvement, and I think they're still working behind the scenes to make these improvements, but it definitely needs to be a high priority. You don't want someone jumping into the game and especially finding subtle cheaters, which are the worst, and not even knowing what happened. Now, in my personal time in Dead by Daylight, I haven't ran into many cheaters myself. However, I've had my instances of definitely having 1 or 2 cheaters here and there. I was never, fortunately, targeted by anyone, which, knock on wood, hopefully it doesn't happen, but a lot of my friends have had this issue where they're completely, you know, their internet's completely doxed, essentially, and everything is done. Their address is leaked, whatever the case may be, right? It's terrible. And it seems that every single time once something like this gets patched, there's a new way that they figure out how to get in, and that's typically going to be a battle that often happens. But Dead by Daylight needs to work on something more solid that ensures the player's safety. So that's definitely the number 1 thing on my list. Now let's move on to something a little bit more lighthearted. Now, we started off pretty serious there. Something that I want to see in DBD moving forward is new game modes. Oh my god, I am tired of playing 2v8. I am tired of playing Chaos Shuffle. And I get it, like, these are fun game modes. I'm not saying they're not fun. It's just that I'm tired of seeing the same thing. I liked when we had Lights Out or My Little Oni, even if it's just a one-off. Now I get it. Making a new game mode is a lot of resources, and if the game mode flops, then, you know, why waste your time making other game modes? Stick to what works. But to me, and I don't know about numbers, it feels that it's just so repetitive. Like, we see the same 2 game modes, and if we're gonna see the same 2 game modes, there's an argument to be made to just make them permanent, which I don't think is a good idea. I think that's a bad idea overall. They shouldn't do that, but the argument can be made. I want to see more game modes. I want to see, you know, as crazy as they possibly can go. When we had a survey way back when, there were tons of different game modes that they basically told us that they were thinking about making, and they wanted to get our thoughts and opinions, and obviously 2v8 would win. But there's so much that they can do. Imagine if we had prop hunt in Dead by Daylight, how fun that would be. Now, I don't know how that works for longevity wise, but it will be nice to see some other game modes coming into the fog, maybe even simpler game modes that are easier to make, something that I would love for them to bring in. All right, we got to talk about some licensings. I have my theories, and I personally think it's Jason. I want to see a big bomb for licenses this year. Not to the point where we're like, every single thing is going to be a license, but to an extent where we get more licensed cosmetics. Like, I really enjoyed the Witcher collaboration. I don't know how it did numbers or sales wise, but I enjoyed it. I think cosmetic licenses are huge, and maybe if we have 1 or 2 giant licenses, it'll be great. And I think Jason is one of those ones that I've been kind of asking every single year for, and I think now's finally the time that we're gonna have an opportunity to see him. If not now, soon enough. I'm not a personal fan, and I know other people might be, of the smaller licenses. I just don't think there'll be big selling points, and it will just be a waste, and then we'll have too much bloating, which we talked about in a video on our main channel about licenses. So give us the big bombs when it comes to licenses. Give us Jason, you know, give us something huge. Give us Pennywise, and obviously it's not fully up to Dead by Daylight to do these deals, but hopefully we can see something like that. And I'm fingers crossed, knocking on wood, that we get Jason. It makes so much sense to be for the 10th year anniversary. You'll see a full-on kind of theory slash what Jason would look like in the fog video coming on maybe this channel or the main channel. I'll figure it out in time being. Speaking of things on this channel, I just want to do a quick little plug. You're free to skip on over. Second channel is much more lighthearted. Code King, we gave away a bunch of things. Well, specifically one thing. I don't know why I said a bunch of things. We gave away one thing to one lucky winner that used Code King and purchased some of our auric cells. You don't even need to purchase auric cells as long as you're using Code King in the shop. Join our Discord and just show a screenshot of you putting in Code King and using it. You'll be entered in the giveaway. This month, we're going to be giving away a U2's pin, and we're also going to be giving away a signed PAX East card that I still have remaining. And on my Twitch, we're going to be giving away a Dead by Daylight board game, so make sure you guys are tuning into that. I did this on the main channel as well, so I'll do it here. I want to give a shout out to Corsair. Make sure you guys are checking them out. Take a look at this amazing Galleon keyboard. It is absolutely amazing. Everything I have is currently Corsair. You can see all the things in the back on the wall. All Corsair headphones, Corsair mouse. Corsair is amazing. They have been super supportive and super awesome, so make sure you guys are checking them out. Use code KING to get 10% off. It means a lot, and if you do, let me know as well. Maybe I got something for you. I got you, buddy. And final plug, I guess, is come on over to our Twitch streams. We're going to be live streaming every single weekday. In fact, as you're watching this video, we should be live right now, depending if I edited this video quick enough. We should be live right now every single weekday at about 10 or 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, all the way until 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We're going to be live. That's our new schedule. I've basically worked it out with my new community manager job, and that's the time that I'll be available. Anyways, back to things that I want to see in Dead by Daylight. More quality of life things. They've done a really good job when it comes down to a lot of accessibility slash quality of life things, and I want to see them continue to do this. I love that we've had new scratch mark colors and new colors for pretty much all auras in the game. I think that's a huge step in the right direction. It makes it very easy for someone new joining the game to enjoy, but we need a lot more in a sense of quality of life and accessibility, whether that's a new tutorial so you can easily understand what the game is, whether that's hovering over a character and maybe getting a video of how that character works, or maybe playing in a private game as Survivor against a bot killer. Those kind of things I think will go quite a far way. I think Marvel Rivals does a good job at giving you like your own kind of custom game where you can experience, test, and practice against certain bots, so you know even the real feel of a game and how a character works. Maybe even if you want to test a character for free in customs before you actually buy them to go public, that'll be absolutely fantastic. Next thing I want to see is a lot more perks in the general pool and reduction of perk tiers. I think perk tiers just don't make sense anymore in the game. I feel that a lot of them are just kind of redundant and everybody will get them to tier 3. It will reduce so much of the grind, which we don't necessarily need anymore because we have so many killers and so many survivors. Reduce the perk tiers, we don't need them. Increase the amount of general perks that we have so the average player can enjoy them. And they've already done a good job at cleaning up the description, so I'm happy about that. But if we can just add a little cherry on top with a sorting option for all of those perks, that'll be amazing, especially for some of the newer players joining the game. And there you go. That's some of the main things that I kind of want to see. There's a lot more things that I'd love to see. Like, I'd love to see more presets, more community collaborations. There's quite a lot that I would like to see, but those are the ones that I can kind of think of off the top of my head without having any script or writing in front of me. There's a lot of other things that they could do, such as going through every single killer and reworking their add-on so they're all on the same page, kind of like what they did with Pyramid Head, going through all the survivors and making their voices and audios all the same levels, making sure that exit gates aren't right next to each other and they're actually across the map, and making the end game when there's one survivor left a lot more riveting. They could fix a little bit when it comes down to slugging or situations where you want to DC. They can make the DC punishment a lot better. They could, and better, I mean like harsher, by the way. They could fix MMR and be more transparent with that. They could have a ranked versus unranked game mode. There's tons of things that I could talk about and I could wish for. Even more procedure boards, you know, but we'll save that for later. Maybe we even show some of our own ideas of what we can do for those things, but those are some of the main ideas that I kind of had in my head. I would love for you guys to comment down below if you agree or disagree with me on certain things, and if you want to see any of those things joining the FOG, as well as what you would like to see joining the FOG, especially on a big milestone like the 10th year anniversary. I will be in Montreal for this big 10th year anniversary, so I'll do my best trying to cover as much content as I can, but I will probably more than likely be preoccupied with all my friends and watching the event itself. You might see me on the stream. Last time I was at the PAX East stream, but no, a few folks recognized me because of all my jewelry, but I might bring like a big crown. That seems super egotistical though, but I feel like that's the way people would recognize me. Anyways, that's pretty much gonna do it for this video. I'm rambling on. We'll have more videos coming in the future. Make sure you guys are subscribing, and yeah, shout out to all my other socials as well. We're doing a lot of short form. You'll see it here, you'll see it on TikTok, you'll see it on IG. If you want to support, follow us on TikTok as well. We're nearing 10K. I did a lot of plugs today. I'm out. See you guys later.